What's going on, traders? Welcome to this week's Forex forecast. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to try to grow your trading account and learn more about supply and demand, start now by hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. Alright, looking at the US dollar first, the COT reports have not come out this week. They won't be released till Monday, so we are kind of just going off of chart analysis here first. So as I've talked about, the US dollar is coming into this monthly area of demand, and there's a better demand zone down right here that I think will be more probability of holding, but I'm still not eager to short just yet because, you know, we have a pretty aggressive downtrend on the weekly, as you can see here, and there's also this weekly embedded demand zone that is inside of this demand zone right here. Looking at the daily time frame, basically what I'm looking for, and I'm pretty sure I talked about it last week, is either something like this to happen for me to really be bullish on the US dollar, or something like this to happen for me to be bearish. Looking at the 4 hour, we had a nice momentum shift right here off of this 4 hour demand zone right here. I did not take that, but clearly we had a reaction off that, and then another. Now we are reacting off of this newer demand zone here. So for me to even start considering shorting, and it'd probably be small risk on the US dollar, I'd probably have to break these lows and this 4 hour demand zone. Okay, on to the euro, which is actually what we would be trading against the US dollar. We are coming up to this similar looking supply zone. That's the opposite of the US dollar. And then there's also this, looks a little bit different on the euro, this supply zone that's held up price here, which this to me is the more significant supply zone. And it doesn't really look the same on the US dollar on the monthly time frame. And you know, for the ultimate buy would be in this weekly area of demand if you're looking at that sequence. But looking at the daily 4 hour, 1 hour sequence, which is basically all I trade now, you know, you look at the daily, we are at this daily demand area, which, like I said, we're reacting off of this, basically the weekly and the monthly area of supply. So I'm not surprised to see some reactions off of it. We have had a little 4 hour momentum shift here on the euro. But for me, I definitely wasn't super interested in buying this area. If I was, it would have to be like a 1 hour confirmation or something like that, or possibly would be better to have a 4 hour. It's kind of disappointing that we're not going to be seeing the COT reports until Monday, but Monday maybe I'll do a live stream or something and we can look at the COT reports together to maybe, it'll give us a better idea of, you know, when, because prices at this monthly area of supply. So the question is, will they be selling? Like, obviously they're going to be taking some profits, but will they continue to, you know, push price up, or are they going to be taking profits and adding shorts? For me to start looking for shorts, I would basically have to see the COT reports and then see them not only taking their profits on their longs, but also adding like a significant amount of shorts as well. And if they aren't doing that, then it would kind of give me the idea that maybe they are just holding price up here to take profits and going to be pushing up price higher. All right, looking at the Aussie US dollar, and keep in mind, guys, that this is all going to be revolving around the US dollar index. So I'm not super interested in taking any trades yet. But if you're looking at the Aussie dollar, there still is a little bit of profit margin here on the monthly time frame. Considering this is tested, it's still a little risky to be buying right now. But you know, you look at the weekly, and the momentum is it's up, and there's a weekly supply zone right here that has been, you know, touched by a wick. Not too much significance on that test. And then on the daily time frame, I don't know if I want to draw this aggressive trend line here, but clearly we've had a little bit of a shift of momentum. But this huge wick down, I don't consider this a break. And as you can see, we've still reacted off of the zone, even regarding this wick. This was a news wick. I think it had something to do with the U.S. Interest rate announcement or something like that. So clearly we're coming up to this daily supply level here. So, you know, if you really want to me, I'm waiting on the dollar, but if you want to look for a confirmation that on this daily zone, I don't know. I'm not super into it. I kind of want to see the COT reports. I want to see how it all reacts, and then maybe this would be a decent area to get in long. But like I said, it's all going to revolve around the US dollar. If, you know, the question is, are we going to be buying, or are we going to be selling the US dollar? And as of now, I'm more interested in selling the US dollar, which means buying these reverse pairs. But I have to wait for the DXY to show me, which door are they going to be opening? Are they going to be opening the long door? Or are they going to be opening the short door? Because right now we are in a range and it's kind of it's sideways, so it's a tough situation to play out, and that's why looking at the Aussie dollar, it's like, what do we do considering the US dollar, right? Yeah, so on the Aussie, it's like we'll look at the dollar, see what happens, and if the dollar starts to show signs of weakness again and it breaks this 4-hour, then our 4-hour trend has continued to the upside, and now we can look for 1-hour longs according to my daily 4-hour, 1-hour sequence. All right, on to the British pound. We are reacting off of this downward trend line right here. So I am expecting some retail shorting to occur right here, which in my opinion I think is going to help the banks buy and push price a lot higher. Looking at the weekly time frame, there's actually some decent profit margin to the upside here. We might have a little trouble around this flip zone at 1.38223, but there is still some profit margin. But like I said, it's all going to be revolving on the US dollar, and then even on the daily time frame here, there is room to go. And then on the 4-hour, if I am going to be going long, I would have to kind of see what the US dollar is going to be doing first. And I'd like to see this top supply zone be broken, but you can actually draw a zone right here right now. But I wouldn't put too much weight on this zone, not only because of we don't know what the US dollar is going to be doing, but because it didn't really break these highs, so I'm not super interested in that 4-hour level. But if the DXY is giving us a signal to start looking for shorts on the US dollar again, and you want to look at all of the major pairs, if you look at the pound, look at the profit margin that the pound is giving us on these, on the monthly and weekly, on the super higher time frames. Even if your sequence is the daily 4-hour, 1-hour, it's important to look at the profit margin, on like the monthly and the weekly. And even on the daily time frame here, this profit margin here, it's pretty nice. There's some, if you get it on a lower time frame zone, there's definitely room to go. So let's just say something like this happens on the pound, pushes up, it gives us, the DXY gives us a signal that the US dollar is going to start to head down again. This zone to me would be a great buying zone. That's just how I kind of view that. But if this zone breaks right here, we probably would have a zone right here as well, which might obviously be a little bit better. All right, USDJPY, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This chart looks horrible to me, but you can't deny what we see. We are in this monthly and this weekly area of demand. And then, first I'll go to the 4-hour here. We have seen a significant 4-hour level here. This would have been a nice trade right here, but to me it didn't really break this momentum line until this white candle right here that you see. Oh, sorry. And as you can see, some traders might be like, "Oh, this is the move away. We're starting to go higher now. I'm gonna start buying pullbacks. It's gonna go all the way up to here. Blah 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 blah." But if you look on the daily, we're headed to this some sort of supply up here. It is tested, but this zone was a little difficult to figure out. But to me, I'd probably almost draw another one here just to be safe. Because it's I'm not going to get into it, but it's kind of a weird one. But these traders might be starting to buy the USD Japanese yen, and they're probably going to be disappointed when they get stopped out because of this daily supply that you see on the bottom left of my screen. So I would be careful of that. Like I said, I'd watch the US dollar, see what it's doing, and then maybe it'll give you a better opportunity to show you the evidence of what the banks are doing. Looking at the USDCAD, we have had this somewhat of a momentum shift on the monthly time frame. Won't be confirmed until 5 more days, 4 hours. Looking at the weekly time frame, we have a beautiful trend down and actually a great opportunity to short up here on the weekly. Maybe get in on a 4-hour momentum shift in that weekly zone. But looking at the smaller time frames, All the USD pairs, the Canadian dollar has been the one rallying the most, and the reason for that is the correlation to oil. As we know, oil has been on a tear, so that is the reason that we've seen the Canadian USDCAD move up higher the most out of all of the pairs. But we're still not out of the woods yet. There was a You could have been looking for a 4-hour, 1-hour momentum shift in this daily area of supply, but for me, it was kind of a risky move considering what the dollar is doing. Looking at the 4-hour, there's a couple nice zones here, but no pullbacks to any of them besides this one. That was a good 2-to-1 there. We do have a break of this zone right here on the 4-hour. So what I would do is I draw this zone up here, which we are currently seeing a reaction off of. It'll be interesting to see where it opens up on Monday or Sunday night, sorry. But on the daily, we're not really out of the woods. We're just in this range, right? So it might be a buy low, sell high type scenario for a bit. We'll have to kind of see. I'd rather, instead of trading the USD CAD, I'd almost rather trade oil because to me it's a little bit easier. That's just how I view it. But if you can't trade oil, then on the USD CAD, I'd be looking at the DXY, and I would kind of just be waiting to see, are they going to be opening up this door, or are they going to be opening this door? If they open up this door, maybe start looking for buys. If they open up this door, maybe start looking for sells. USD Swiss, my monthly and weekly are obviously trending down. As far as the weekly goes, there's really not much significant demand down below. If you look at the daily time frame, we've seen a nice reaction off of this. Barely touched it, but I would call that a reaction. And right now we are reacting off of this. Obviously this is not great supply. It's not. I would just basically call it selling. And the reason I have this is because this bigger zone was a monthly zone, and this daily was responsible for that. And kind of looks similar to the US dollar as well. So we'll have to look at the US dollar, see what it's doing. If it breaks that, probably start looking for buys on the USD Swiss. I'm kind of hoping the US dollar turns around because there is some profit margin. You look at the US dollar, and there's some room to go up. It's all about a question of, is this monthly going to hold? If not, maybe this monthly down here will start to hold. All right, on to gold. We're seeing a very nice reaction off of this monthly area of demand. If you look at the weekly, this selling has been officially removed. I'd want to see a bigger rally here, and then maybe we would have some sort of demand right here. But I'm gonna wait for now. I want to see how this. I want to see if this really will close above this zone next week in order to start to get pretty bullish on gold. As you can see, this daily was removed, which left us this daily demand right here, which I'm not a huge fan of. It kind of just looks like a pivot to me. But what I really wanted was to see, ideally what I want to see on this is for this to shoot up above here, get some consolidation like this, and then hopefully we'll have a nice demand zone right here to be buying on the daily, because like I said, this one's not really it's not my favorite looking zone. I don't really put that much weight on these, but that, like I showed you right here, this would be the ultimate idea, and then maybe get in on a 4-hour, 1-hour momentum shift down here on gold. All right, looking at oil, we are in this monthly area of supply, which is, I think the better supply is up here about 55 area. But looking at the weekly, we still have, some decent room to this 51.18 area. We still have, a few more dollars to go. So in my opinion, buying oil right now is still somewhat decent move. It's just be cautious of these higher time frame areas of supply. I was trying to get it long in this daily demand zone on a 1-hour momentum shift. Never really got it. Never really got what I was looking for. I have this zone right here, this 4-hour demand zone that I'm somewhat interested in buying. What I don't like about it was the fact that it closed above this trend line down. But you could call this right here supply / selling, which would be the zone responsible for moving it. So I actually might take a stab at this 4-hour demand zone, but I would I would want price to come down pretty quick in order to do that. And if it doesn't do that, then maybe we'll see something like this: a break and a buy and a push higher. Because the higher time frame momentum is up, basically all the time frames. All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching this week's Forex forecast. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well, if you don't mind. I really appreciate all the support. Let me know in the comments down below what pairs you're looking at this week, and maybe we can get in touch and you can send me a chart and let me know what you're looking at. I always like looking at charts. So with that being said, let's have a great trading week and let's make some money. Cheers.